Okay, so we have the inequalities homework now. So we need to solve the inequalities and present your answer in the number line. So I'm going to put everything on one side. So I'm going to make it so that everything on the right hand side is on the left hand side, just because I can see that the highest coefficient of x squared is 3. So I have x squared, and then minus becomes positive, plus 5x minus 14 is less than or equal, just less than 0. My fault. And then to factorize, I use the cross method. I always like using the cross method. So 1, 1, and what's the coefficients? What are the factors of 14 that get 5? I was kind of ahead of myself. 7 and minus 2. So then this becomes x plus 7 and x minus 2, and this is less than 0. So to do inequalities, it's not just x doesn't equal 2, x doesn't equal minus 7. Yes, they're the roots, but essentially with inequalities we kind of have to think about it in terms of what the graph actually looks like. So what the graph actually looks like, it's going to be with the roots, because we've already got it into this form. The roots are going to be minus 7 and 2. And when is this less than 0? It's when it's between this line here. When is it less than 0? Essentially, if this was y, when is it less than 0? And so it's when x equals, I like kind of when it's in this format, I like saying minus 7 is less than x, which is less than 2. Okay, so we have x squared plus 50 is greater than 30. X squared minus 25 is greater than 0. So this is just the difference of two squares. X plus 5, x minus 5 is greater than 0. So again, if we draw this out, when is this greater than 0? It's when x is that side, and when x is that side, one of the roots, minus 5 and 5. So when x is less than minus 5 but greater than 5. Those are the two regions. So we have minus 2x squared plus 4, which is greater than or equal to x squared plus 9x minus 8. So I'm going to put everything on one side. So I have 3x squared. So I'm going to put everything here. So I have 0 is greater than or equal to 3x squared plus 9x minus 4. Or actually, it would be minus 12, wouldn't it? Because minus 4 on both sides. So I'm just going to flip this around to 3. I'm also going to divide everything by 3 as well. So I have x squared plus 3x minus 4 is less than or equal to 0. It's really important to make sure that the crocodile mouths, or whatever they're called, I just like calling them inequalities or crocodile mouth, are facing the same direction. So then in this scenario, what is this factorized? This becomes minus 4. So it's 4 and minus 1. X plus 4 and x minus 1 is less than or equal to 0. Again, I draw the graph out. Oops. Something like this, minus 4 and 1. And when is this less than 0? It's when it's between that point. So minus 4 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 1. It's less than or equal to because this is less than or equal to 0. So we have x squared plus 12, which is greater than or equal to minus 7x plus 2. So I have x squared plus 7x plus 10 is greater than or equal to 0. So I have x plus 5x plus 2. I just know, just because I'm just that guy, is greater than or equal to 0. I'm going to use something lighter just because it looks nicer. So x, when actually it's one of them ones where it's like minus 5 and minus 2 here. And when is this greater than or equal to 0? When it's less than this and less than this and greater than this. So when x is less than or equal to minus 5 but greater than or equal to minus 2. Cool, lovely, nice. So those are relatively simple inequalities questions. This one is a little bit more tricky just because you have to do a little bit more thinking, but essentially it's the same thing. So we have this question here. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to rearrange this so that y is the subject. So y is less than 4 minus 4 over 3x. Let me color them in different colors. So with the purple one, it's already purple. So let me do that here. So let me sketch that graph out. So y equals 4 minus 4 over 3x. So it's going downwards. And also every 3 steps across, it goes down by 4. 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I can't go upwards. So let me sketch that line out. It's going to look something like this. Yeah. And it's a dotted line just because it's a less than. If it was less than or equal to, it would be a solid line. Y is greater than 3. Y is less than 3x. I'm going to make this into a pink line. So the y-intercept is 0 because there's no plus c. And for every 1 step across, it goes 3 up. So it's going to be there. 1 step up, 3 up, there. And then left, it's going to be 3 down, 3 down. So the line's going to look something like this. Cool. Y is greater than 0. I'm going to do these kind of the same color just because they kind of are the same thing. So x is greater than 0 is going to be, this is y is greater than 0. Because this is y equals 0 at the line. And everything above this is going to be greater than 0. And then x is greater than 0 is going to be this line, which is here. So everything on this side is going to be x is greater than 0. So what's the region that encompasses all of that? So the region that encompasses all of that is this here, this region here.